Hey Conan fans, this is Matt back for another update on my Conan Exiles base building. This is going to be a short video, I think. Just an addendum to the last one I posted featuring my Treehouse fort. I made a few little changes here, and then there's a whole other new fort I gotta show you that I built. As far as little changes, I didn't do a whole lot with this one. I did a few graphic changes. I just swapped out a few of the fences with some stone walls. I added a little roof to the little ruined little shack thing. Nothing major in my pen. I don't think I did anything new out here. I might as well walk for this. I did a little more flushing out with some decor. Only really one room did I do an extensive amount of stuff. I kept having storage issues, so I added a few boxes here and there, some rugs, some chests. I added a few little things in my kitchen. In that area that I built last time with the little ark, I decided, well, let's put a little. So much wood is going to be needed in here, as well as coal and other things, but I figured let's have a little wood chopping area. Otherwise, that's all the same. I added a little canopy area there, and that turned out to be a problem with one of my things because it put a spike through a bath up there. But anyway, I might have, no, that wasn't that floor. It must have been a different floor. I added something. But anyway, nothing up here I did different, but I did add in a little, it might have been one of these things that I did on a higher level. Just as a shaded area. This was kind of wide open and it didn't have any I don't know. I wasn't really happy with that how wide open it was. And I showed you that I had this little lower deck area. Well, I decided to give it decor. So then I went through and I filled it out. And so I got all these in the back. It's a actual graphic called General Wares, which has all those little vases and flasks and so forth. And then I added a few as well in front. So some of these are my own vases. Put some bales, cupboard, bunch of barrels, stuff that would have been hauled down here for storage, and it's just kind of out of the way. A lot of liquid storage. And I thought, I like to have I like to tell a little narrative. And so over here in the back, somebody had put themselves a little mattress in there, kind of hidden behind all the supplies. And they got a little bit of wine, a little bit of food, some cheese. They got their little pouches and stuff like that. Maybe this is somebody that just doesn't want to work and, wants to slough off a little, but maybe it's a little tryst area. I don't know, because you got the little wine and so forth. But I kind of like that, add a little bit of character to that spot. Didn't really do anything else with the base. So that, as far as that aspect goes, hey, look, I got a gate. Yes, I finally unlocked the gate. Got that in there. Other than that, I didn't do anything different cosmetically or otherwise with the base itself. But I've been hiding this behind me. I wanted a way to get up to Sepper Maru, and I was looking at different ways. I can't build over here. This would have been ideal because it's kind of a stair step. It would have been ideal to create some kind of a series of staircases that would have come up here someplace. But they won't let me build this close to Sepper Maru. So I did this. I built myself a little elevator room. Now, for defensive reasons, you got a little thing here. Maybe you can use this for storage, who knows. But I got my elevator. I got a thing for elevators, especially ones that pop out of rooms. Just pops out of the thing, goes up the hillside. It's about 2/3 of the way to the top. And then I got a series of staircases. And we are on the outskirts of Sepper Maru. So I built this in reverse. This is typically the best way to build elevators, is to figure out the platforms, I started off building some stairways and figuring out, okay, here's an angle, here's an angle. This would be an ideal spot. And you look down and you see, is there anything jutting out, because that'll cause problems. And I just found the right spot. Then from this spot, I built down, so the building materials on the bottom are going to match the stuff at the top perfectly. And created a nice little elevator support shaft. And of course, I'd had to do some other wall works to keep everything kind of smooth. I could probably remove some of these and replace them with certain kinds of pillars, but yeah, that was fine. I think that's not too much for building. I mean, it really just goes right along the edge there. So, fast and easy access to Sepamaru. That's it. That's all I did with this part of the base, with this particular base. But I have some other bases to show you. So we're over here, over by Sepamaru. And over here is a ridge, a brief red ridge that's full of rocks, and there's actually a path that goes through there if you were, forced to travel by horseback. It's about the only way to get through this mountainous area, and there's all sorts of those rock noses. That dumps you out on the big, wide open desert that's north of the old city, the unnamed city. This is up by where the den is the home of the what are they called, what are those, I can't even think what their stupid names are. That's their big base. Well, nearby that, I built a new base. Actually, I was just wandering in the wasteland, and I found some place. I needed some place to kind of hole up, and I found this little cliffside thing. And similar to the way I did the elevator for my base, I did the same thing here. I built the base first, then I figured out how do I want to get down, and I built an elevator down to the ground, and that's what this is. This is the ground floor elevator. Water source. Gong letting somebody up above know, hey, we're here. Some storage area, because obviously a lot of stuff needs to be stored, and you'll see why. Just like our other base, this pops right out of the little ground house. But instead of a series of staircases, it actually comes into a building, or at least a partial building. Staircase up, platform, workspace, manned by a smelter, busy churning out iron ingots, a little grinder, got a little compost heap up the stairs, little deck area, doing your business. Hey man, I thought ahead here. You're gonna need water, and when you need to clean it out, you just toss it out the window, right down the mountainside, the hillside, whatever you want to call it. I even got incense burner in here, so nice and fragrant. Then we come up to the actual house and painted a little mural thing. This is a one-room house, kitchen, simple bed that looks incredibly tiny. Some shelves, some storage. It's basically a two-person house. You got a couple of chairs, a bench. This is about as good as you have for a bathing area. The deck that has my little plants on it, beehive. And if you really want, get a hammock to watch the stars at night, sunbathe during the day. Beautiful spot. This is actually on a plateau, and over there is that big camp, the big fort. So we're very close to that location, but it is isolated. This is just a spire. It was just a kind of a flat top, semi-flat top. I thought, well, I could probably build a little house or something up here. And then I built stairs down to here, and I needed some place to put this thing. And then I built another staircase down, and that's where I figured out I had to figure out how far out. I had to go that far out to get clearance. I can't use the space that this wall is on because there's a few rocks down here sticking out, and it would have ended up like leaving me about here. So I had to go out a whole extra space in order to make this, work. Now that it's beginning to be daytime, I can show you what I did with the ground level. Again, similar to the treehouse area, I created this kind of like a ruined, like maybe there used to be some buildings here. Turn this into a stable area with food and water for your horse. Little bench over here, in case you're waiting to visit or you're just hanging out outside. A decorative plant, that's all that is. Little wagon. The pillar goes straight up. It's kind of nice. So I was using I don't even know what this set's called. The Murun set, which is pretty good. It's kind of similar to the other sandstone-y looking sets, and that's kind of what I used as the main decor. The problem with this set is it has no roof tiles. I have no roof pieces. There are stairs, but there's no roof. So then I was like, well, what kind of matches decor-wise? And that's when I chose the Ardashir set, which obviously color-wise doesn't match, but texturally speaking, it does. It has that very stucco, stone plaster kind of. It's just got an extra layer of plaster and paint basically on it. And so it kind of looked like an okay way of capping my buildings. It also doesn't have a roof. The best thing it has for a roof is the dome, and I had this perfect 2x2 space that made a perfect little dome space. But I thought it turned out okay. Again, this is basically just an outpost. It's not a full-on base, but it's, as you can see, it's pretty defensive. You got to climb up some seriously steep walls to get up there. It worked out okay. Another reason why it's here, though, is just like the hill fort, the treehouse base area. This place is littered with iron ore. Not quite as much, but there's iron ore, a lot more plants. It's got plenty of coal in and around this whole hillside. You can go up the hill, around the hill. There's all sorts of stone and iron and coal just by going around the base or going out from it. If you come over here, again, more ventures out, you get a bunch more coal, bunch more iron. It's all over the place out here. So as far as natural resources go, it's ripe. This has a lot more trees too. I mean, between the Joshua trees and the cacti, there's a lot of plants here. And unlike the treehouse base, this also has, you're fairly close to water access. But be warned, this place does have gators, including this giant gator. But yes, at least you have water. But every time you go over there, you're going to have to kill off the gators first, because they're not going to let you swim in their water for free. Okay, so that's this little outpost. Then, while I was doing my little adventures, mining and so forth, across a scorpion-covered basin, I came across this little kind of hole, this kind of cave area. Not a cave, but oh crap, I just realized that thing doesn't have a base under it. Messes my feng shui. little crevice underneath the big bridge thing. And I said, well, that'd be kind of an interesting place to build a little base. So again, I went back to my little tunnel, my little arena set with the tunnels, and created another. I'm calling this an abandoned prison. It's kind of run down. You notice everything's kind of filling in. It's the only way to get in here. Okay. I utilize a lot of metal gates in this thing. I like this. This is kind of nice. Kind of the main, this is the main interior room. Back here is the prison cell. Can't access the door from there. You have to come in to do it. Throw the prisoners down there. And this is all it is. It's just a cell with a cage above it. No way out. Two stairways, a double stairway up and a single stairway up. The single stairway up takes you to the little rampart here. Defensive rampart. It's a very defensive valley. If you look, I mean, it's got good visual location. You can see on top of the plateaus that are nearby. And the other stairs takes you to the rooftop. Another series of ramparts there. But otherwise, it's just rampart space. A little shrine. And a peek down into the room above the prison cell, as well as the prison cell below it, thanks to the cage. So it's not a full-out base, and obviously I've not decorated it. That's why I'm calling it abandoned. It's essentially just exactly what I call it. It's kind of like an abandoned prison cell. Abandoned. Don't even have any torture devices. I mean, this is definitely not manned. The tunnel system wasn't perfect. I wanted more tunnels in here, but it was too tight and it can't deal with all the elevation changes. But pretty ominous. I think that was it. I don't think I had any other builds. I spent a lot of time running around the map. I have been having problems with combat. The game keeps freezing up whenever I'm in combat with another human. I can fight against creatures, no problem. Scorpions and gators and anything else, I don't have a problem. But the second I get into a fight with the AI-controlled humans, the game freezes up, and I can't figure out why. I don't know if it's a performance thing. Maybe it's I got too much stuff. I need to free up some space, but I don't know. It's strange that it's just that one instance that causes problems. I can do this all day. It doesn't do anything. I'm just documenting that I'm having problems. Animals. I'm invisible. That's why the thing didn't react to me. Oh, actually, it's because I'm in creative mode and it's not going to react to me at all. There. Now I can get a reaction. Critters attack me. No problem. No problem. Right? You understand? Critters, no problem. Now, let's head to civilization, or what passes for civilization in this game. Doo-doo-doo. Actually managed to get through one fight without it freezing. That's pretty good, because it hasn't been doing that for a while. Oh, I got killed. Well, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I was having problems. Maybe I'm not having problems now. I'm going to have to keep playing with it a little bit. But that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to go over my little base updates. This is a short video, and expect more in the future. Thanks.